Good morning, kia ora koutou katoa. Hello, everyone. So, as you know, a lot of yous anyway, I have chosen Wednesdays to speak to the angels and, actually, I should say not just me, but the angels and I have decided we will speak to you all and bring through messages from them on Wednesdays. So, here is the message, or messages actually, for from the angels on Wednesdays, which is this week. So excuse me for that. I just kind of like feel like I needed to bring myself forward, which is something that I feel like some of yous may be wanting to do. And also, I'm just for noticing myself straightening myself up and things like that, and getting myself into position. So I feel like that message is for like everyone, for a lot of yous, or obviously for yous who are listening to this, that you've been drawn to this to hear it for some reason that may be going on in your life at the moment, okay, or this week. So, some of you will notice that I actually forgot to put a message up last week on Wednesday, and that's because it was the school holidays, and I had my other angels here with me, my grandchildren with me. So, those angels, like for first and foremost, come first for me, okay. Um, And anyway, they would have been delivering messages more so than me if I had done a video like this. So anyway, that aside, so it's about, okay, that is about like putting, yourself first. So that's why I mentioned that. So I'm just hearing myself, what did I mention that for? So it is about prioritizing, okay, what it is that you want in your life, and within your heart that you want to do. It's not about what anybody else thinks. It's about what is your truth, basically, and what it is that you see as a priority in your life, okay. And really it all comes back to us, not with all that ego shit stuff going up there. So don't even go there with the ego, because I'm hearing people go, oh, but that's really egotistical about, with doing that. And I thought, well, and that's why the angels are just actually saying, well, there's a shadow side and a light side to everything. So it's when we find that balance in between the two, between everything, or with everything, um, we have balance, and we have a lot more stability and alignment and flow in our lives when we don't get caught up in what everybody else is saying or doing. Okay, it comes back to us to finding our balance. Okay, so honoring yourself and coming back to here, because you are the teacher. You are your own teacher at the end of the day. Okay, so I just wanted to go back to that. So, like, some of you may not get that and wondering why the hell I'm going all over the place, but there is a message in that for some of you. So just go with the flow of this as well. So anyway, the main messages today is, there are three actually that have come up, and I've written them down. And the first one is love yourself. The second is rest. And the third is allowing others to tidy up, is what they're saying. So that's how they put it that way. And what they mean, and so anyway, they're going to bring it all together. So what they mean by the allowing others to tidy up, and is, sometimes we can overdo things, and like, as much as we would like to help other people, out, do their things, and as a mother, we tend to mollycoddle our children at times, and even as young, even the young ones, but we have to let them, teach them from a very young age that, to look within, and figure out what it is that is going on for them, and be able to, and allow them to open up to, experiencing, like you saying no, or there is a better solution or a better way to do that, and ask them questions about what is going on, so they learn how to be able to ask, basically, questions, ask for help, talk, and let you know that there is something not going not quite right with them, that they're wanting to express themselves. So it's like, and coming from a non-judgmental place, and coming from a place, what did it feel like when I was younger, when I was little, and having that inability, or that feeling, or that inability to be able to, ask for help, express, what you were really wanting to express, you know, and, you know, when you're asking for that help, and allow people to, when I say express what you're really wanting to express, it's like, you know, like, if there's some sort of frustration that's going on, and actually being able to say what you really want to say, it's like that, I hurt, you know, that hurt me, what you said to me. So there's a lot of that in my generation, because I'm 55, and I know when, you know, and our parents, you know, being brought up with my parents, it's kind of like, you know, do what I say, not as I do. That sort of, you know, mentality, or, you know, belief system that was brought up from them, you know, their system, belief system when they were younger. It's like, you know, and then it's about not asking questions, you know, you just do it, you know, that's what I told you to do. So we were not able, a lot of us, to express ourselves, and like, oh, well, that doesn't, like, even something as simple as that doesn't feel right, you know, and allowing our intuitive abilities to be able to expand, okay? So now we have an opportunity to look into that, and like I say, in our generation, and we've been unraveling things to in our lifetime, trying to make sense of it, trying to figure out and get in touch with our own truth, just so we can express ourselves. And for our generation, or my generation, from what I see and what I have experienced, is that you know, a lot of those limiting belief systems and thoughts, and the way that our fathers and forefathers and mothers, you know, have experienced, it's been passed on, and to them and to us. But you know, and unfortunately, it's, you know, it's, for a lot of us, it's prevented us from being able to truly, you know, thrive in, you know, our own space and our own being, and our own knowing, and our own intuition of where we need to be going, you know. So, you know, and a lot of you out there like me, it's taken, like, you know, 55 years to actually fully figure it out. But on saying that, where there was the journey to here has been amazing, you know, it's all in how we look at it. Even with all the things that have made me laugh, made me cry, you know, pissed me off, you know. There have been many experiences and situations, but, you know, but I've gathered these tools, and I've learned along the way that it doesn't have to be like that, you know, for the rest of my life. And there are other ways to deal with it, and things do take time to unravel. But now I teach them to, you know, along the way, I've taught them to my children about, and they see me how I've handled things and maneuvered my way through life. So that's how we teach as well, not just in a classroom. We role model, we make these changes in our lives from the way we interpreted them from before is different to how it is now. You know, in my life. So, and then my grandchildren come along. So, you know, we're doubly, triply role modeling how, you know, how things could be better, or how things could be, and making different decisions, and, you know, and hitting them up and talking to them, not hitting them, but hitting them up, pulling them up to, and, you know, and allowing them to ask questions and be inquisitive, and as to why, who, what, why, how, everything along with that. And then therefore, it allows us to open up and share our wisdom and our knowledge, and our skills with them. And sometimes, you know, like it doesn't happen overnight, but it will happen. But it's celebrating those moments that we are in right now. So love all those things about yourself is what Spirit are talking about, or is what the angels are talking about. That make you up as a whole. It's learn to love them. Even, you know, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly of us, and it's about us accepting those parts of us and us that is in the past, because, you know, a lot of you out there like me, we've done a lot of work on ourselves, and I know for me, I have done a lot of work with myself. I'm not the same Leslie that I was before, and a lot of yous, and, you know, even without doing the work, you know, that if I hadn't have done any work, I still wouldn't be the same Leslie I was before, but there would be probably not so good traits about me. But on saying that, the essence of us, you know, even through working on myself, is still there. You know, it's not that I haven't changed fully, but I've embraced and I've enhanced on what I do know and what I do have that coming from within, and you know, and from without, and bringing it all together. It's created a much more enlightened Leslie in the way that I approach things, in the way that I respond to things, people, and you know how I do it. So, and like with a lot of yous out there, you will be noticing and feeling the same thing as I speak. Um, so that it's like, but it's loving yourself. You know, is the whole encompassing thing of what they're wanting to. You know, the angels are talking about today. You know, loving yourself. Okay. And they're talking about the other thing is rest. Okay, at the moment we're going through this full moon energy, and like for me, it's like, oh my god, it really was intensified as we were coming, and the week before coming up to it. And then I get there and it was like all nice and calm, and then but then after, now it's kind of like after with all that processing, the energy is kind of like, not, I wouldn't say heavy, but it's like calming in a way, but it's kind of, I feel really exhausted as well with this energy. So you may be feeling a little bit extra tired than what you have been, you know, in the last couple of weeks, you know, coming up to this full moon. So there's been a lot of processing for a lot of us. So just rest, drink lots of fluids, especially water, to help flush out the toxins and hydrate yourself, so we can be in a better place to or you know than what we think we can, to you know to move through this processing that we're moving through, whatever it is for you. So there will be dumping of things, and there will be bringing in of new energies as well. So some of us will be uploading different energies, and some of us will be downloading. It depends on where we are in our journey of our understanding of how energy shifts and moves in this lifetime, or in this lifetime, in the space that we're in now. So we, you know, that which is, you know, gaining momentum at the moment, for us to be shifting things, you know, in our personalities, in our physical life, you know, and you know, and our perception, are the words that they're using. So hopefully you'll understand where they're going with that. No, there's so quiet. So to bring about the stillness and this peace and this quiet. So I've just had someone, yeah, I think I've got, yeah, okay, I know I've got Archangel Micheal with me now. So you might have feel me switch in or click into another angel, and my energy will start to shift. So that's just a different angel coming closer to me with a message that they would like to share, okay? And then they'll just channel it through me. So okay, so and the other thing is, you know, oh yeah, okay, love yourself. So we started at the bottom of the list. I've got anyway, first in, first served, I guess, which angel was coming through. So I guess really, the what, you know, coming from the bottom of my list that I've written it out, is allowing others to tidy up so their own mess. So we, you know, because we take away their learning and their growing, but we can guide them into how to do that. And sometimes you will get resistance, which is where I feel some of this, you know, and resistance from yourself as well. Okay. Whew. So allow yourself, yeah, to let others, you know, learn and grow. That's, yeah, that was really the crux of the message from the beginning. As far as with the children, is, you know, watch them, learn from them, and let them teach you as well. You know, they will help us to, you know, show up for ourselves by seeing us as we act like children sometimes, you know, because it's like, you know, because the other note that I've got here is show up, you know, show up to yourself for yourself, as I was, you know, preparing and going into this this session here, you know, and they will help us show up for ourselves, you know. To an extent, we need to grow the fuck up too, you know, at times when we go into our funny little spaces and they show us, and it's like, oh wow, I just behaved, you know, that was a bad behavior, you know. And it's about, you know, stepping out of our frustrations, you know, and what is really going on there, okay, for you, why you've just responded like that. Not so much, you know, to the, you know, it's, and when I'm saying it's not so much, you know, it's, you know, like you may have responded to somebody or a situation. It's like, wow. So really, you know, and, you know, the grandchild might be there and had seen it or heard it, and it's wow. So they will, you know, pull you up too. So don't get frustrated at them because they've, you know, made you look at something. You know, it's like, wow, have a little giggle, and it's like, take that with love, peace, harmony, and joy, excitement and adventure, and work with that. Okay. Because sometimes I know the F word comes out, and I have got frustrated. My granddaughters, you know what, Nana, that's not a very nice word to say. And I said, yes, I know, darling. So I will work on that. So it's just something, you know, as simple as that, to respond back to them. And then, you know, and then when they say the F word, it's like, well, you know what? That's the same sort of thing back. So just take it with a grain of salt, even if it was an adult that responds to you, or in a way, you know, that frustrates you, that has brought about that frustration. It's like, you know what? Allow them to figure it out for themselves. Do not let yourself to buy into that drama, is where they're going with that. Okay. Now I've just gone all really quiet again, so that it feels like another angel has just like, they've just stepped away. Okay, yep, for a little bit, and then someone else will come in. So, whew, that was really pretty intense, and for a little while there, and it's like, wow. Okay, so, and that's what happens. You know, you will go through some intense moments in life, as you know. But when we stop taking control of things, okay, here's somebody else coming through, because the next note on there is like, stop trying to control the situation. So somebody out there maybe, or some of yous out there may be trying to control a situation. So what they're asking you is to, like, which is where the rest comes in, take a rest from that. And then also, and not allow yourself to get caught up in that, because that's where some of that frustration is like, that's your own shit, that's our own shit that we're working with, why we're frustrated. So, and it's about going back to taking a rest from that and loving yourself and allowing others to experience it, to figure out how to work it out for themselves. Okay. You know, sometimes it's, you know, we have to, you know, just let people, you know, just not, you know, when I say fall, or when they say fall, it's just like, sort it out. Okay. But be there as a support person, you know, when they do fall, and with, you know, without any judgments or anything like, you know, I told you so. We can feel it and think it, you know, and we're probably thinking, well, I told you that, but actually, come from a loving space with that, because that's your awareness to know that actually there's a possibility that, you know, this is going to happen, but be there for them, and coming from a loving space, and not buying into that drama or that experience, you know, their experience, you know, and it's just sending love to them. Okay, so there may be something out there with some of yous who are, you know, are needing to allow someone or others just do what they need to do, because there is a process to things, and a learning for them as well as for you, of course. Anyway, I was shuffling, as I was shuffling and preparing, these cards fell out. So from my Archangel Michael ones, it's make love, not war. Okay, so it's not necessarily about the actual physical act of sexual love, but for some of you that may be that, but it's about really, you know, turning everything into coming from a love vibrational space, rather than a war and having to feel like you need to battle for everything and fight, you know, because when we start to do that, we start to end up like, you know, creating this wall or this barrier, and we end up creating more friction, you know, towards it, or more of what we rather not be in, to, you know, get out of that space. So that's why they're talking about making love, or turning everything into love, and not from a war zone, actually, in that sense. Okay, so some of yous, you know, and when we're in that space, it's, you know, like depression, you know, is really a fear of the past, or, you know, of what has happened in the past, but that's in the past. The only way it's going to hurt us is if we let it, you know, come with us and carry it with us and take it into our future, and not do, and break cycles, so we don't take it into the future. That's how it is. Anxiety is a fear of the future, which is stemmed from the past. Okay, so so turn that into a love-based thing, and a way of coming from it, not a war-based. Don't fight it. Allow it to dissipate and be in the past. Stay in the past. Be in your now is what they're saying. Cool, and it's okay. You know, it's okay to be you. Is where I'm coming from. Is where I'm coming from. Is where okay. I'm hearing Archangel Michael with that one. Also Archangel Ariel. Okay, and also Archangel Raphael and Raziel. Gosh, they're all here. And Metatron. Yeah, because I'm seeing geometrical shapes coming in through there. So anyway, so it's okay. It's okay to be like frustrated. It's as long as we work with it. Okay, it's okay to be, it's okay to speak, lovingly to yourself, you know. And when I first started doing it, and, I'm thinking about, many, many years ago when I read Louise Hay's book, and how she talked about, looking in the mirror and talking to yourself and saying wonderful things about yourself to yourself, like, I love and approve of myself. Even though there was so much shit going on around in my life, I still did it. And I kept doing it. And until I believed that actually, you know what, I do. I do. I love and approve of myself for who I am and, what I am and, where I've come from, what I've been through and, everything that got me there. Like I say, I've always said, it doesn't happen overnight, but it will happen if we make it we make it a true and honest attempt to begin to commit to ourselves, to make these changes within ourselves, so we can move forward and move past whatever it is that we're going through. And it really comes down to, us, really, us, allowing us to embrace our power within. Beautiful. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for that. Okay, and so one of the last thing I'm going to talk about, to help us get out of that place is, okay, so going back to Louise Hay, so I've jumped the gun there. I love and approve of myself is one of the things that I used to do, and like I say, it didn't happen overnight, but it did happen. And, and it's kind of, and so go there with that, okay? And there's, that's right, it's what I was going to say. And sometimes it does feel a little bit fake when we say that. And I know for me it did. It felt really fake. And I thought, God, that feels really fake. And I nearly stopped doing it. But then I realized the more I started to do it, I thought, no, I've got to give this a go. And the more I started to do it, I started to actually really, my energy changed. And I started to believe in myself even more way back then. And it just made my heart change. It made my whole energy change because I was putting a positive thought in there rather than, not that I was saying I hate myself, but I hear I'm hearing some of you are saying they're out there that I hate myself, I hate what I've got, I hate this, da 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 da. So we're turning it around and actually being more on a gratitude, in a grateful space of, gratitude, basically, of being thankful for what we do have. That's what we're doing. And like I say, it goes back into that limiting belief, systems of what we've been brought up with, and, that's been, around in our energy. So, monkey see, monkey do, that sort of thing. So, and if we're in that vibration all the time, we start to, vibrate it ourselves. So it's about hopping out of there and changing our mindset, changing our perception, bringing in, everything that we've, everything else to experience it, to try it out even, and being open, our mind to, there is a different way to handle things. There is a different way to live my life. There is a different way to look at things. There is a different energy out there that lifts me and vibrates my, so and that I can resonate with, my energy resonates with. That's more empowering rather than, suppressing or depressing, that sort of thing. So anyway, so what I like to do is actually, and this one here is interesting, is wear colours that increase your vibration. and that make you glow and smile and feel good. And sometimes that would be the clothes that you're wearing. So even through, summer's coming up. Oh, gee, I just spat then, sorry. So even though, even in the winter days and months, it can get quite dreary at times, so it may be that you just, you don't have to wear or only wear bright colours in spring or summer. Winter is probably the perfect time to do it, to lift your energy, or lift our energy in those times, and, society seems to, I've got two words mixed up, come together, tell us, or, in fashion even, like there's these dreary colours that we should be wearing, and they only have like quite dreary colours, or, browns and, not even beiges and, greys and dark blues and stuff. And they are nice, but we can lighten them up. And if you're not into that, there's always your undergarments and what you have around in your house as well. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. That's just going to sign off. It's just got all quiet, and I feel the energy is like just starting to move out. So you may be feeling that energy yourself. Yeah, just take a deep breath in. So breathe through whatever it is that you're going through, my friends, and be kind to yourself. Love yourself. And loving yourself may be going out and taking times like that rest, going out with some friends, having a cup of coffee, having a piece of cake, and a coffee, and having maybe a beer or two, and just going out and having dinner. And it may be just, a burger and chips and a beer at a bar. It may be, maybe fish and chips or KFC, or packing a picnic, having, your favourite vegetarian dishes and, and packing a picnic and going down to the park. Whatever it is, whatever it is, it's about connecting with energy that fills your heart, your soul with love, inspiration, empowerment, and all those wonderful, amazing energies that lift your vibration. Okay. Anyway, signing off now with Archangel Micheal, Raphael, Raziel. So check in with them, because for some reason, even if, I'm going to go a little bit deeper in with actually how they work with each of them, whoever comes up in the next couple, with each session that we have on Wednesdays. So then you get a better knowing. Not only just, they're wanting me to do that, and not only just bringing through messages as a collective from them. So we'll go a little bit deeper, and we'll have a specific angel that we will work with each week, and a few others that will come in and bring in messages that will coincide with whatever we're talking about, the discussion or that subject. So if there is a subject that you want to talk about, message me and let me know. Put it down in the comments or message me in my inbox, and we'll go through them. So it's about, about you asking a question as well. So I'm not going to go live with them and ask them, because we could be there all bloody day. However, but I'm thinking what we can do, and what I've been encouraged to do, is that we'll touch on a topic every week. So some of these will have the same sort of questions, so we'll bring them together, okay? And about something, not necessarily a personal question. It's more of a general question, okay? So if some of you are wanting to, know something about, meditation, we could probably do a meditation, with one of the angels or something like that. So, because that's where I'm heading with that, okay? So anyway, if you would like to book a reading, please let me know through my inbox, and we can tee up a time. So I have a variety of different services that I offer with, as far as readings, from 15 to an hour and a half, depending on what is you most need or what you require, and also healing sessions as well. So that Typically, they will run for about an hour to an hour and a half. So that's your choice and what you feel into it, what you would like to do. And I do work with a lot of different modalities that I have learned over the years. And also, the angels and my guides come in. Okay, so come in to help me. So I've got a really quiet energy that's come through. So that's wanting to speak and let you know how I work. Okay, this is what I mean. They'll just come from everywhere and anywhere, the angels, and to help me deliver the message to you. Anyway, like I say, drop me a line down below in the comment box, and let me know what what you may want to touch on. Okay. Anyway, God bless you, and I'll see you next Wednesday.